WATD presents John Paul, the Car Doctor. All things automotive. Have questions? Call or text 781-837-4900. Now, here's John Paul, the Car Doctor.
And good Sunday morning, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Car Doctor program on 95.9 WATD. My name's John Paul, the Car Doctor, here to help you with your car problem on what is, I believe, the last Sunday in November, as we're heading towards, well, as Jesse said, some cold weather with the wintry mix coming up this week. So a little bit of winter weather coming up maybe before the official first day of winter. And I guess this means like 24 or 5 shopping days left till Christmas. And if you're Jesse or I, it means you have 24 days of not having to worry about anything. And then one shopping day. Isn't that correct, Jesse?
As is tradition.
Pick up stuff on the way home? I think so. I think that's what Jesse does. He picks up his Christmas gifts on the way home.
I think I hit the wrong button, but yeah, that's usually how it goes.
Yeah, me too. It's always good to shop at the local 7-Eleven for Christmas presents. So anyway, with us on the phone is Kristen Brokoff. She is from CarMD.com. We've had, I think, Kristen, you and I have known each other sort of this way for a long time, back when CarMD was sort of a product you plugged in under the dash and a couple of little lights came on and gave you sort of a code. That was a lot of years ago.
Well, good morning. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, I think it was 2006 or so when we first met. And CarMD was really the first company that ever started to educate your average driver about you can't ignore the check engine light. You don't want to put the black tape over it. You can't just hope it goes away. So you've helped us educate folks many, many times over the years.
Although, we were talking about it with a listener last week. The black tape was an answer that, the brothers on NPR, made a whole skit out of putting black tape over all kinds of lights. So, yeah. But no, it is. And now you guys have come up with something really kind of neat. CarMD Connect. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, we're super excited. So our original product, you had to be proactive. You had to, or reactive. You had to see the check engine light, take out the tool, plug it in, and then you actually had to go back to your computer and plug it in to see what the problem was. And now the apps and AI and all that are just so standard in people's lives. This is a little product, CarMD Connect, that you plug into the OBD2 port right under the dash. Most of your savvy listeners know that. And you pair it with the CarMD Connect app. There are no hidden fees. There are no subscriptions like a lot of other products out there. And once you do the initial setup, you're proactively monitoring your car for, maintenance reminders. You can get vehicle registration reminders. It's getting cold. You're going to get tire pressure monitor reminders. And then when the check engine light or an ABS or an SRS type light comes on or something's pending, you're going to get an early reminder so you can get that figured out early and know what repairs should cost, know what the parts and labor are in your area. And I think a lot of your listeners know, CarMD has one of the largest knowledge bases with over, I think we're at like 100 million technician verified fixes. So, when we tell you something's wrong or we predict a failure, it's with a very high degree of certainty.
Well, 100 million would certainly do that. And one of the emails I get on a pretty routine basis is, and I was going to say parents want to know where their kids are, but some parents want to know where their parents are. And, and some people have bought GPS tracking devices and they have to pay a monthly fee. But this device also interfaces with your cell phone and the technology in your phone, and it can kind of keep track of where your car is going, right?
Yeah, we had a lot of folks that were wanting more than just, to diagnose car issues. And you're right, teen and aging parents are a big deal. Or even remembering where you parked or meeting up at a concert or whatever. And CarMD Connect allows you to basically put together a friend group. So it could be your immediate family, a parent, and pair the device with the app, invite folks. So if you're one of those people who doesn't want to be tracked, you don't have to. But it's a great way to set up a geofencing alert. You know, my teen got to work or school or football practice, or, you know, mom made it home from the doctor's appointment. Now, it does pair with the phone, so it's getting the location, it's pinging the location for the person and the vehicle, which is what enables us to make it so affordable. So it doesn't have like an always connected telematics, like it's on while if the car got a boot on it and it got towed, unfortunately, you know, it's only going to know the last location that the car was at when the phone pinged it, kind of like a tile or whatever.
Yep.
But, you know, it's not as expensive as a low jack. So, you know, you get that value added, you know, peace of mind without the really hefty cost.
When you were first describing, I was thinking to myself, did you see me come out of Home Depot the other day and not remember where I parked?
Oh my God, I get so distracted. I've done that. I've been like, you know, 2 stores over. I'm like, oh my gosh. I was just,
Yeah.
you know, daydreaming, making my Christmas list.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, the device itself and the app is pretty neat because, you know, there's some really interesting features in the app, and like you said, the verified fixes to be able to do that, where you can do that, but also, you know, you can use it on more than one car if you want to swap it around and things, but also it has this sort of Ask CarMD and artificial intelligence feature, which I've been playing around with, and it's quite fun actually.
So yeah, just real quickly back, we really recommend one device per vehicle. Like it's really meant to be paired and so, but yeah, the Ask CarMD is so fun because when you ask a general chat GPT or a, you know, off the shelf bot, you know, you're going to get a very generic answer. But with Ask CarMD, it basically knows your vehicle's year, make, model, what's going on with the car, if there's any hidden codes or pending codes or current codes. It knows, you know, how many miles you have. And so when you ask it a question, it's giving you a very specific answer for your specific vehicle because of the CarMD knowledge base. And then you can also say, you know, hey, I want to know about my daughter's, or, you know, a different, and you know, put the year, make, model. So it's really fabulous because it's unlike anything else you can get on the market. And again, it's totally free. So you know, it's really meant for your average driver, but I'm sure it could be useful also for your DIY type listeners.
Right. You know, the idea that you're, you know, sometimes, and I'll talk to people pretty regularly, and they'll say, you know, I was driving down the road and the check engine light came on, and, you know, I pulled over and I checked the oil. And I'm like, well, chances are the oil had nothing to do with the check engine light. But the idea that you can look at your phone and kind of, even if you didn't know anything about the car, it's a whole lot quicker to do that than take out the owner's manual and kind of go through the owner's manual and hope to come up with some sort of an answer.
Yeah, and let me tell you, you were talking about not knowing. You know, I've got a daughter who's leaving for college, and in fact, it just started snowing at my house. And, you know, you freak out. As a parent, you're sending them 100 or 200 miles away, and they're trying to learn how to be adults, you know. And so I use this in her car to kind of co-manage her, you know, oh, Mom, you know, the weather's starting to get cold. You know, they don't even realize sometimes you're going to need to add air to the tires to, you know, because it got cold. I've actually had her get a check engine light on, and instead of having to have her send her down to a repair shop for a scan or, you know, an AutoZone or an O'Reilly, I was able to diagnose. Thankfully, it was just a loose gas cap, and we were able to resolve it, you know, essentially remotely, so that I could guide her. And you're teaching them to be, you know, responsible drivers and vehicle owners, but you've got that peace of mind and that kind of like being a little mechanic or a guardian angel, you know, on their shoulder while they're away.
Yeah, no, and if people are interested in buying the CarMD Connect, it's available in Walmart now.
Yes, we are in an end cap in many, many Walmarts across the country, not all of them. And they're doing a special holiday promotional price of $79.97. And you can also get it at walmart.com. So that's definitely the best price you're going to get. And once it's gone for the holidays, it's gone at Walmart, as far as that price. And you can get more information about the product at carmd.com. There's just a couple of buttons on the homepage that give you more insight into the CarMD Connect product. And it's available on Amazon, but I think it's a little bit higher priced right now than Walmart.
Yeah, I think the retail price is what, $120 or close to that.
That's the MSRP. You're
Yeah,
going to get it around 99, and then the 79 at Walmart.
79 at Walmart. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like you said, it is not, I guess, initially kind of a, do it yourself, go out and buy the parts and fix it. But it gives you all that information if you want. I mean, it gives you the idea that, it will tell you what the fault code is. And then you can kind of ask the AI auto mechanic, and say, what do you think? And kind of give you an answer.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to give you the option to do a quick scan. So it's just going to do, the ABS and the OBD2. And then you can also do a more detailed scan. So you're going to get all of the OE, from a auto start stop to, front relay control to the door mirrors and the seated, heated seats and all that. And it'll basically, tell you if there's, any problem. It'll give a very basic description of the fault code and whether kind of the severity of it. So if you're one of those DIYers that wants to roll up their sleeves and, get into the full, ripping parts out of cars and replacing things, and you want the, the whole tree on, what do I do next in terms of the triage, it's probably not for you. And if you want like the bi-directional and stuff, we have I would call it a affiliate or a sister company called Innova Electronics, and I know you've had a lot of our products mentioned over the years, and something like that's going to be a little bit better for your heavy DIYer. But CarMD Connect is just a fabulous consumer empowerment tool.
It really is, and just the idea to be able to look and be able to, just have it there to use it. As we were talking, I was, going through, the last thing that came up on. I caused the code on purpose because I wanted to see what was going on, and it came up with two different codes, and it certainly could lead me down kind of a path of things I could look at and decide what to do with it. Also, one of the things that your company is really good at is something called the Vehicle Health Index. Can you kind of explain that to us?
Yeah, I think it's been 11 years now. We've been putting out the Vehicle Health Index every April during Car Care Awareness Month. We tell you the most common reasons for the check engine light, the associated cost, and kind of whether those costs have gone up and down. And really, it was designed to empower folks to understand, why does the light go on, why you shouldn't ignore it. For instance, one of the top repairs is an oxygen sensor. But if you ignore the oxygen sensor, it could become an ignition. It could become a catalytic converter. Another is a spark plug is a very common reason that a check engine light would come on because it's failing. You ignore that, and then it's a spark plug and an ignition coil, which, can cost you upwards of $400 if you're talking about parts and labor. So it's just that whole idea of educating folks about the reasons that check engine lights come on, why you shouldn't ignore it. And then, even the regional insight has been helpful to folks in the industry to know if there are trends that people are seeing, for parts stores to stock, the most common parts, the most common vehicles that have issues or don't. So, yeah, it is It is amazing. And if you Google check engine light, CarMD is going to come up as, one of the preeminent experts.
Yeah, it really is, and you look at some of the various tools you have, everything from multimeters to tablet style scan tools that are through the Innova side, which really shows you guys know what you're talking about. I guess is really what it comes down to. And it's funny. I just looked at Walmart.com, and the Walmart near me doesn't have the CarMD Connect, but it can get it in a couple of days. It can arrive, and it can either pick it up at the store or deliver it. And what was interesting is because Walmart's Walmart, it always brings up something else at the same time. And it brought up some sort of GPS tool, and the GPS tool looked pretty reasonable, but it was $20 a month for the subscription service. So for
that is,
the cost of this GPS tracker and 3 months worth of access fees, you've paid for the CarMD, and sounds like a pretty good deal to me.
And honestly, we always used to say, if you can avoid going back to the shop for one scan, because it's typically a minimum of 1 hour for $120, it's literally paid for itself in the first use. And the other great thing is if you have a repair shop that you trust or, you want to do it yourself, you can, basically print out a PDF of what CarMD Connect found as far as the vehicle health report, the most likely fix, the parts, etc., and almost like give them a heads up, like hey, this is what we think is going on with the car. Don't even have me come in,
right,
for a repair until you have the part, because it is going to be very accurate. And then we also have a list of shops that are available to schedule repairs, right within the app. Or if you have a favorite shop or that you trust, you can populate that, and then it's right there in the app when you do need to have something fixed, and you can send that PDF along, and it's really just more information, more communication, to show what you're talking about.
Well, here's where I'm asking you to predict the future. And the program on before us was a wrap-up of some of the things going on during the week, and they were talking about AI and robots and all kinds of crazy things. But do you ever see a point where maybe CarMD Connect will send a message to your trusted repair shop for an interpretation, and then they're going to actually send you an email and say, oh, by the way, we just got pinged by your CarMD device that says, your check engine light's been on and off, and you might want to bring it in before something happens.
That is, we are absolutely working toward making this kind of the only thing that you'd ever need in your network, from the consumer to the repair shop to, the full loop. Absolutely. And with regard to predictive, we already have that. We can predict the most likely reasons that your check engine light is going to go on. And basically, you can make decisions. Do I want to purchase an extended warranty? Do I need, to maybe sell this before anybody finds out? You didn't hear that from me. But, if there's a 50% probability that you're going to need a catalytic converter and it's $2,500 or whatever, maybe you make other decisions.
Maybe time to let that car go down the road and think about something new. But it is an amazing little device, and it is literally the width of the OBD connector, and it's about an inch deep. It's a little tiny thing. It's going to sit there. You're basically it's not going to be in the way. It's not going to be like a scan tool that has a big connector that goes to it. It's just a little tiny thing that sits in there and kind of just sits there. And if all things go well, it never tells you anything. Your car's in perfect shape and there's nothing wrong. But it's nice to know that, even if it's a matter of maybe you know a little bit about the car and you just kind of hit the button to do a scan, and you just have it do a quick scan and go, electronically the car looks like it's in good shape. I'll go take that trip home.
Yeah, and it takes like 5 minutes to set up. I mean, it'll scan your VIN. Every once in a while, you have to key it in manually. It'll ask you your most recent registration, et cetera. And I actually moved to a state where they don't mail you a reminder about registration. And I got pulled over because I totally forgot to register the car. And they gave us a fix-it ticket or whatever. But this, you can actually say, hey, would you like a reminder that you're going to need an emissions test, and don't wait till the last minute because if you don't pass, you can't register your car. So, all this great stuff, but you're right. I think there's going to be a lot more AI in the future. Right now it's just the Ask CarMD, which is kind of empowered by our database and AI. But, man, it's going to be a fun ride we're going to have here.
There we go. Well, Kristen, I want to thank you for taking a little time out of your Sunday. And again, the device, best deal right now, go to Walmart, go to your local Walmart and look around for it, or go to walmart.com. I'm there right now, and it's a great price for $79.95, and go check it out. And I was reading some of the reviews, and the reviews, at least online, are quite good about it. And again, it does just what it says it's going to do. So. Pretty good.
Yeah,
pretty good
absolutely.
Little device,
some of the DIYers, they wanted more, and that's fine. Just make sure this is for you. But CarMD Connect is just absolutely fabulous. It's really bringing your average driver into the world of knowing what's going on with your car. So,
yeah. No, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, it would be an absolutely great holiday gift for somebody. And again, even if you're a tinkerer and you just think, hey, it's under $100, I'm going to buy it. I'm going to see what it's like. I'm going to, play around with it. Some people just like to tinker around, and it's fun for that. And again, that AI app that gives you car advice, I'm starting to get a little worried about my job here.
Yeah, what did you ask it anything fun?
I did, and like a lot of AI, the more information you give it, the better it gets at answering the question. So, knowing what
it is weird that you can ask the same thing and it gets smarter. You're right, and every time I'm like, wait, but we want, you were trying to film a video and you ask it a question, and then the next time it gives you a different answer. I'm like, what?
No, it's the whole thing's good. And again, whether it's whether you're looking at the CarMD Connect or you're looking for more sophisticated tools through Innova, you guys have some great products out there, and I want to thank you for taking some time and sharing the information with us.
Absolutely. Safe winter driving, and happy holidays.
You as well. Take care. Bye-bye now. Why don't we take a break, pay some bills. My name's John Paul. This is the Car Doctor program. You're listening on 95.9 WATD. We'll be right back.
Even car geeks and do-it-yourselfers rely on AAA to give them extra peace of mind on the road. AAA offers 24/7 roadside assistance, whether you're in your own vehicle, a friend's car, or even a rental. Combine that with great rates on insurance, hotel, gas, and dining savings, and discounts on 8,700 brands, and you're covered on and off the road. Get a special membership offer today at aaa.com/join. That's aaa.com/join.
Hey there, folks. It's Quinn Kelly reminding you to tune in Sunday night at 5 for the South Shore's first voice in sports talk radio, The Sports Exchange. Unmatched coverage of local high school action, as well as a relatable voice on all things Boston Pro Sports. We've got you covered live at 5 every Sunday night. Have a question for our host, missed last week's show, or just want to share a great sports story? You can find us on Twitter at SE on WATD. But remember, mark your calendar, folks, and we'll see you Sunday night at 5 for the Sports Exchange on 95.9 WATD.
This is Dan Cloutier.
And this is Kim Jennings.
We're from Birch Bear Records. Tune into Twilight Showcase Radio.
Hosted by Sandy Stride and Keith James.
On 95.9 WATD and 95.9WATD.com.
Search for Twilight Showcase on Facebook and visit twilightshowcase.org.
Twilight Showcase, tonight from 8 to 10 on 95.9 WATD. Honored with a Lifetime Achievement Award from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. He's John Paul, the Car Doctor, on 95.9 WATD.
And welcome back to the Car Doctor program on 95.9 WATD on this one of the busy travel days. And for people who are traveling by air, it looks like there's snow if you're up in that Michigan, northern New York area. Well, I think you're going to be stuck there because there was some pretty significant snowfall and flights have been canceled and all that sort of stuff. And usually this Sunday and Monday morning are typically the most busy return days from the Thanksgiving weekend. So, Jesse, your Thanksgiving was good. Did you smoke that turkey?
I did smoke the turkey, yes.
And what was the smoking method you had? There was terminology.
Oh, yes, there was. So it is called spatchcocking, which means you basically remove the spine of the turkey before laying it on the smoker, and it gives it more of an even cook.
And was it delicious?
It came out perfect. That was actually my first time ever cooking a turkey. I had never done it before. And, yeah, it was very juicy. There was no brining. There was a dry brine, which basically the difference would be a regular brine would be you create some sort of a saltwater recipe with some herbs and whatever else you choose to throw in there. And I skipped that because I had learned in my research that it could be too salty if you brine it, smoke it, butter it, all that kind of stuff. So I kind of skipped a few things there, and then I ended up dry brining it. So just, salted overnight, put it in the fridge. Spatchcocked it, took out the spine, smoked it for about 4 hours.
Did you do the ribs as a backup just in case?
I did the ribs because our guest list quadrupled at the last minute, and we're like, oh dear, there's so many more people. Like, we bought a relatively small bird, and we're like, yeah, that should be enough. There's gonna be like 10 of us. No, it ended up being like 40 of us, and
wow.
Yeah, but it worked out. It came out phenomenal. I was nervous.
I forgot you live in a mansion.
It's a nice house, but it's I wouldn't say it's a mansion. It was a mansion at one point. I don't know if I ever told you this, but actually my house in Whitman is a historical house. We actually just got our historical plaque for the side of the house, which is kind of cool. But at one point, it was twice the size, and they actually chopped off half the house and moved that half of the house a few streets over to be a whole other house. So,
is that the one that became there was a couple of those in Whitman. Didn't one of them become a funeral home?
Possibly. I am right next to a funeral home.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Yeah. But anyways, it worked out. Yeah. So smoked turkey came out good. Everyone said it was the best they've ever had, so that's good. I recommend smoking it and definitely spatchcocking it for an even cook.
Who knew that we were going to turn the Car Doctor radio show into a gourmet food show?
Look at that.
Who knew? It could happen. So, but anyway, so I want to thank Kristen Brokaw for joining us. And in the weird things about things I get in the mail, we made a little fun out of Motion, the functional energy drink for functioning adults, and I sent the guy who's the co-founder of the company a clip of the show, and he never responded back, and I'm like, oh, maybe he didn't like Jesse and I making fun of the name of his company, and so I got a little card that said they're actually live now. The company is live. Distribution is going to start soon, and they sent me a little bit more of the product. So there you go. So apparently they were happy with Jesse and I making fun of the name. So
no, hopefully they're happy enough to actually send me some too. Come on.
I'll see what I can do. They know where I live, so that's the way it goes. But anyway, so apparently it's a busy day here because now the FedEx truck is backing up in front of my house. So, and I don't believe I'm getting anything from FedEx. But so I apologize if you hear backup alarms as the FedEx truck's backing into the empty driveway across the street from me. So. So if you want to join us, we are live like we are every Sunday. If you want to join us, the phone number is 781-837-4900. How you get through and talk to us about your car problems, whatever's on your mind. We'll try to help you with, maybe you're getting ready for wintertime. Maybe you're putting your car away from winter. I think I answered that question 6 times this week. Putting my car away from the winter. Heading to a southern state to go away, but I'm leaving a car here. I have my 66 Mustang that I want to put away for the wintertime. This is my first year with it. I had quite a few of those kind of questions this week, and if you're going to put it away and you're not going to drive it, it makes sense to put it away right. And that usually includes, and this is what I try to do. I usually like to put things away with relatively fresh fluids. So I look in the radiator. Is the antifreeze look in good shape? Good. Okay. Is it good to 35 below zero? Yes, it is. So that's good, clean, looks good. You don't want it. You can buy these dip strips now where you can dip it in the radiator to tell you if the antifreeze is acidic or not. Or you can, if you want to be a little bit fancy, you can take a voltmeter and put the black wire of the voltmeter against the negative cable of the battery, and then take the red lead of the voltmeter and just stick it in the coolant. And if it registers voltage, and I've seen it register as high as 1 volt, but if it registers voltage, you basically made a battery inside your radiator, which is never a good thing. So if the coolant's in good shape, great. I like to put things away with fresh oil in them. That way, when I come back, I don't really have to worry about it. And oil doesn't lose its viscosity when it sits just sitting there. Today's cars, years ago they used to say, change the oil when you put the car away, change the oil when you can get it back out. There's a lot more issues with carburetors. It would drain down and things. It doesn't happen with fuel injection. Nothing really to worry about there. I like to top off the fuel system. I do like to add a fuel injector cleaner a couple weeks before I put the car away, just to kind of clean up the fuel system. Something like Techron, I'm still a fan of Techron. Techron, they're not a sponsor or anything. They've been around since. I remember going to General Motors school and we were talking about fuel injector cleaner, and the instructor at the time said, back when the very first fuel-injected cars from GM came out back in the 50s, there would be Techron in the glove compartment or in the trunk because they recommended even back then, because fuel was dirtier, to add a cleaner to it to make sure everything stays the way it's supposed to be. So having the fuel injector, run that cleaner through it, maybe a tank of gas before you put it away. Put the car away with a full tank of gas and add a gas stabilizer. Stabil, S-T-A-B-I-L, has been around for years. It's a good product. It's the one that if I go to the parts store and I look at fuel stabilizer and there's half a dozen choices, I always go to Stabil. And maybe it's just old habits. I have seen some testing where they've compared different fuel stabilizers together. Stabil usually does the best. Again, it's the one I tend to use. So air up all the tires to the maximum amount. So if you normally put, say, 32 pounds of air in your tires, and you look at your tires and there's, the maximum is 35. Put 35 in the tires. They're going to lose a little bit of air when it sits. Also, if you're parking on, in the garage or on the driveway or concrete or something, it's not a great idea to park on dirt without putting something under the car, a tarp, plywood, something to keep the moisture from coming up. But if you're parking on concrete, I like to park on, I went and bought a 4-foot square of construction insulation, that pink stuff you see that they put against foundations, like a 1.5 inch thick piece, cut it into 4 squares, drive on top of it. The tires sort of squish into it. No flat spots on the tires that way. Kind of lasts longer. Battery, if you can put a battery tender on it. My 2 favorite, battery tender by Deltran, great products, and the C-Tech Smart Charger, really good one too. I'm a little afraid of as much as I am favorable about a lot of Harbor Freight stuff, that $6 Harbor Freight battery minder thing, whatever it's called, that one scares me a little bit. Just seems too inexpensive. I'd worry about leaving it unattended. Same thing with a solar charger. If you're using a solar charger because you don't have power, but you can stick it near a window or something to get a little sun, watch out for some of those because they don't have any way to regulate the voltage. I have one when it is you check the voltage on a sunny day at 17 or 18 volts. It actually uses the 12-volt battery as a way of stabilizing the voltage. If you're going to use it all the time, try to get one with its own built-in regulator so it's not going to overcharge the battery. It shouldn't, but could. So, spend a little bit of extra money for that. If you live in an area that has rodents, block up the air intake to the air cleaner, block up the tailpipe because that's a good home for them. And if you have a car with a appearance cover under the hood, plastic engine cover, take it off, stick it in the trunk or somewhere. That tends to be a home for homeless rodents. So get that out of there. Helps a lot too. Put a coat of wax on the car, clean it all up, put a car cover over it, hope for the best. There you go. Our phone number again, 781-837-4900. Let's talk to Rusty in Woburn. Rusty?
Oh, good morning, good afternoon, and happy post-Thanksgiving, early Christmas greetings, my friend. How are you?
Wow, that was a lot. That was a.
I was.
Yeah. I think there's still a little turkey left. I think there's one slice of pie left in my house, and I see a turkey sandwich still in my future. So.
That's perfect. Awesome. I just wanted to call and personally thank you for all the help you did with me on Toyota. They actually called me yesterday of all days. They called me at 5 o'clock yesterday before I left for the Bruins game. And they're like, oh, well, we got this email like many months from you. And I goes, what? I go, about almost a year ago? They're like, oh, yeah. We're just following up with you. Oh, we just talked to the dealership and Acton Toyota. Nothing we can do. It's normal wear and tear. Thank you and goodbye. That was it.
Well,
it was for all the work that you and I worked on with our emails. The phone call lasted 16 seconds.
and the idea they were working on Saturday.
I know.
Or Friday. Yeah.
I was shocked because I saw the call come in, and I was like, well, maybe it's just someone like they're
trying to sell you a Toyota. Yeah.
Right. Then I take it. It's like, oh no, this is the executive office in Dallas, Texas, and I'm like, oh, great. How are you? Oh, we're just responding to this letter follow-up that was sent to you almost a year ago. I'm like, yeah, we just spoke to Acton Toyota at 2 o'clock this afternoon, and we reviewed the pictures, and normal wear and tear. Thank you for being a loyal customer, and nothing we can do for you. And that was it, and they said goodbye. I didn't have a chance to breathe.
Well...
I couldn't send that to you in an email and do this justice. I had to tell you in person.
Yeah.
Because if I sent that to you in an email,
at least the email I sent out got some response.
Yeah,
so,
that's why I'm calling to say thank you very much.
Yeah.
I mean, if you were closer, like up in the North Shore, I'd buy you lunch or dinner. But I would just wanted to say thank you, and I just wanted because if I sent this to you in an email, it would have made. The justice wouldn't have been done.
Yeah. No, well, I appreciate it a lot, and knowing, and they don't follow up with me, so I don't know anything about it. So the idea that they followed up at all is always a good thing. So
absolutely, it's a great thing. But at 5 o'clock on a Saturday after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I know.
You're heading out the door is like you don't even expect it. Like I said, I thought it was just another, a corporate call to sell something.
Yeah. Dedicated Japanese company with a Texas work ethic? I don't know. I'm all confused now, the idea they even did it. But, yeah, no, it's, hey, we tried. That's all we can do, right?
You know what? We made the effort, and, I have up only 74,000 miles on it. The car will be paid for this time next year. It's going to last another maybe 200,000 miles, 300,000 miles.
You hope,
take care of things.
Yeah.
We're banging them out, but thank you again, my
all
friend.
All right. Thanks, Rusty. All right, take care, and have a good holiday season coming up. Thanks.
You too. Thank you.
Yep. 781-837-4900. Somebody wrote to me this morning and said, I have a 2006 Ford Escape with and the transmission is shot. Is it worth spending $2,500 to have a used transmission installed? The Escape has 135,000 original miles. Interesting, they pointed out original miles. Original miles has been well-maintained and runs good. Recently, my mechanic who suggested the transmission has replaced the wheel bearings, front struts, and brakes. We've also had some body work done. It's been a good winter vehicle, and I live in an area that gets lots of snow. I'm debating what to do. Please advise. Well, what's your Ford Escape worth right now where I assume it doesn't run or doesn't drive the way it should? Salvage value, maybe? $400 for scrap metal, maybe $500 to $1,000, maybe if someone's looking for it. Spending $2,500 on a used transmission is a little, I don't know, right, a little bit of a chance because it is a used transmission. So you hope that your garage and your salvage yard work together and try to get the best product they can get for the car. One that, maybe it's a lower mileage car, maybe it's one that looks like it was in good shape, but it was in a crash and the transmission's in good condition. Whatever the case, put a $2,500 transmission in the car, and now all of a sudden you have a car that's worth $4,000 or $5,000. So based on that, I would fix it. That's what I would do. I would put a transmission in it. 781-837-4900. I'm intrigued by this. Let's talk to Mike, who's at the beach. Michael?
Yes. Good morning, Car Doctor. Mike from Revere.
Oh, okay. From that beach. Okay. I didn't know if maybe you were at Miami Beach or something. So
How I wish. Maybe very shortly. I got a quick question for you. I'm somewhat of a Mercedes nut. I've recently purchased, 4 years ago, an E450 Mercedes-Benz sedan Ford-O-Matic.
Okay.
Currently, the car's about to come off a warranty the 9th of December. At such time, I got to put a warranty within a couple of weeks, or Mercedes will not let me renew with them. Make a long story short, the warranty with them is $5,000 for 3 years, or I think it's 75,000 miles.
Mm-hmm.
Am I doing this prematurely? The car's only got 18,900 miles on it. Should I wait another year or two and buy an aftermarket? $5,000 will go a long way with repairs down the road.
It will go a long way with repairs, absolutely. And, if you said to me, my car just turned 100,000 miles, I'd say get the warranty, because many, whether it's a BMW or a Mercedes or an Audi, they're fantastic cars till they hit triple digits, and then all of a sudden they get expensive. Yeah, and on this with such low miles on it, I think I'd be. What year is it? 2021 or something?
It's a 22.
22.
It's a 2022. It's a mint edition. It's got no rot, no dents.
Yep.
I've had it for 2 A services.
Yep.
And that's $300 a pop. And the reason why they kept doing A services, it didn't have enough miles to do the B service.
Right.
The B service having recently been done, I got a discount, but the B service, Doc, is $1,000.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I asked the guy who's coming home with me. They're getting me a date. I don't know whether it's spent for $1,000. What's he going to do with a car with 18,000 miles on it?
Not much.
But in any event, okay.
No, and I think
wait for a couple of years and worry about it down the road.
I think the factory warranty on that isn't at least a driveline warranty. Isn't that 4 years or 50,000?
I've come to that. Yeah, I've gone.
Okay. You've done the.
Yeah, I've reached that. I've got 4 years. I've had it.
Okay.
December, sometime in December. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I would be with such low miles on the car. I think I would be tempted to
ride the wave.
Ride the wave a little bit. Yeah, like you said, $5,000 for 3 years. If something like a air conditioner fails, or you got.
You made the air compressor. The air conditioner compressor went this past summer. It was $1,800.
Yeah,
and they fixed it.
And they fixed it, but say it happened next summer, and you didn't spend the $5,000 on the warranty, and you spend $1,800 out of your pocket to fix it, you're still ahead. So yeah, no, I think I would be tempted to just kind of stay with it and see what happens. And this sounds a little too self-promotional, but when you go looking at an aftermarket warranty, and I'm sure you get pitched by everybody in the world.
Oh, they're crazy.
The AAA one is a good one, and why I say that is not because it's ours. I've been at AAA for 40 years. In the 40 years I've been there, I think we've been in the extended warranty business for 30 some odd years. And
the AAA warranty with my E430, it was a 2000. It worked out very well.
Yeah, I was
about to go to them and ask. I'll worry about it down the road. You happen to know the name of AAA warranty company?
And what I found was, over the years we've had to swap warranty companies, and we've never left a member out in the cold. If something happens because, I remember once we had GE Financial as the warranty company. They decided they were getting out of that business, and we had we protected the members until we found a new company to take over. So, it's those kind of things. And, you don't, the movie stars and people that advertise the ones on TV, when that company goes bankrupt, you're probably left with just an expensive piece of paper.
Yeah,
and I'm pretty sure, Danica and Ice-T aren't coming to your house to fix your car.
They're no longer available in Massachusetts, that particular warranty.
Oh, really? All right.
Yeah, called up. I don't want to give them a black eye on the radio, but they're no longer available in Massachusetts.
Oh, there you go.
The only one that I think is pretty good through the grapevine was Nova.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Nova.
Yeah, I've heard of that one too. Yeah.
They were like $3,500. They were no bargain either.
Yeah, but in a few years when the car starts getting a little bit older, I might want to consider it just because of the kind of car it is. But in a couple of years, you might buy a new one. So who knows?
Thank you so much, Doc.
All right.
I appreciate you.
Okay, take care, Mike. All right, take care. Why don't we take one more call and then take a break? Let's talk to Jim in North Reading. Jim?
Before we get there, I had a question from a caller off air. She was asking you to go over the 3 points of the car that you want to address for rodents before winterizing or something along those lines.
I would want to block off all the places where rodents could get in, like up through the tailpipe, in through where the air cleaner inlet is. You can cover it with a piece of plastic in the tailpipe so you can stuff some steel wool in there. I would take if you open the hood and there's a big plastic engine cover, I would take that off because that can be a home for homeless rodents. And there was a company we had on the program a while ago, Earthkind. Earthkind has a rodent repellent which is made out of, and I'm making it up, fir trees or something like that, and it keeps away rodents because they don't like that smell, but it's not a poison, so it keeps them away. I'd even put one of those little sachets under the hood, maybe even in the car just in case. And then, of course, if it's in a garage, look for any places. Mice can get in a hole the size of a nickel. So if you see any little holes in your garage, block those up, get spray foam or whatever, and take care of that, and you should be in pretty good shape. If you want to go a little further, you can get some rodent repellent. It's supposed to smell like a predator, so something that would eat a rodent. You can sprinkle that around. That Shake Away is one that works pretty well. You can get that, and worst case, if you know you have a problem, you can set traps up. Problem with traps are if you don't check, you could have one dead, smelly mouse or rat or whatever the case is. Now let's talk to Jim in North Reading.
Hello, John. Good morning.
Good morning.
I've given you a follow-up on my 2014 Nissan Sentra with the ABS problems.
Okay.
You suggested doing the
slow bleed. Yep.
It actually did eventually turn on the ABS unit. I could hear it running. I was getting tiny ear bubbles coming out from the front right side, but I think that ended up being the Bernoulli principle. Mm-hmm. It was just getting sucked in through the bleeder valve.
Yeah.
Other than that, it didn't really work too well. I still have the brake. Only when I start up the car, the brake pedal goes to the floor after starting it. Yeah. And then the brake works fine. I can hold my foot on it. It doesn't. It seems a little bit low, but it doesn't go all the way to the floor. And I drive it around town just a little bit and step on the brake during dirt roads and stuff. But I'm still in that problem with the starting up that it goes to the floor.
Yeah, and that's puzzling because if there was air in the system, there would be air in the system all the time. It may be the master cylinder is just starting to get near the end of its life.
This was a new. I replaced it.
That was a new one. Yeah, that's right.
Huh. It could be defective, but
could be. But just the idea that that you get a soft pedal or a very low pedal on the first brake application, and then it gets better for the rest of the day tells me you've pushed something to a maximum place. So, if you had a really stuck brake caliper slide, and when you first step on the brake, it sort of jiggles it around and gets it to work. But, if you had air in the system, you're going to have air in the system all the time. So not just air. It sounds to me like maybe you did get a defective master cylinder. Could very well be. Yeah. I'm puzzled. I need to think about this over the break we have to take.
Okay. I'll let you.
All right, Jim?
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right. Thanks, Jim. All right. Take care. Bye-bye. We need to take a break, pay some bills. My name's John Paul. This is the Car Doctor program. I need to puzzle over this for a minute. See if I can come up with an answer. You're listening to the Car Doctor program on 95.9 WATD. If you're listening and you have an idea about Jim's Nissan and why it has a low pedal just when you get in it first thing in the morning, give us a call. 781-837-4900. We'll be right back.
Even car geeks and do-it-yourselfers rely on AAA to give them extra peace of mind on the road. AAA offers 24/7 roadside assistance, whether you're in your own vehicle, a friend's car, or even a rental. Combine that with great rates on insurance, hotel, gas and dying savings, and discounts on 8,700 brands, and you're covered on and off the road. Get a special membership offer today at aaa.com/join. That's aaa.com/join.
Hey there, folks. It's Quinn Kelly reminding you to tune in Sunday night at 5 for the South Shore's first voice in sports talk radio, The Sports Exchange. Unmatched coverage of local high school action as well as a relatable voice on all things Boston Pro Sports. We've got you covered live at 5 every Sunday night. Have a question for our host, missed last week's show, or just want to share a great sports story? You can find us on Twitter at SE on WATD. But remember, mark your calendar, folks, and we'll see you Sunday night at 5 for the Sports Exchange on 95.9 WATD.
Even car geeks and do-it-yourselfers rely on AAA to give them extra peace of mind on the road. AAA offers 24/7 roadside assistance, whether you're in your own vehicle, a friend's car, or even a rental. Combine that with great rates on insurance, hotel, gas and dying savings, and discounts on 8,700 brands, and you're covered on and off the road. Get a special membership offer today at aaa.com/join. That's aaa.com/join.
Hey, this is Kylie Evans. Tune into Twilight Showcase Radio, hosted by Sandy Stride and Keith James on 95.9 WATD and also at 95.9WATD.com. Search for Twilight Showcase on Facebook and visit twilightshowcase.org.
Twilight Showcase, tonight from 8 to 10 on 95.9 WATD. Make an appointment Sunday morning at 11 for John Paul, the Car Doctor, on 95.9 WATD. Now, back to the Car Doctor.
And welcome back to the Car Doctor program. Jim's car has me puzzled. Could it be air in the system, and when you pump the brake pedal the first time in the morning, it pushes the air to the end of the system? But I would think between all the brake bleeding he's done, he would have gotten all that air out of the system. New master cylinder could be defective. I've seen a lot of bad parts lately. Whether it's people I talk to, repair shops I talk to, a lot of bad parts lately. Could it be that? Yeah. Maybe I'd spend the money and go somewhere and go to the auto parts store and rent a pressure bleeder and pressure bleed the system, or get one of the vacuum style ones that you open up the bleeder screw and suck all the brake fluid out through the bleeder screw. I prefer the pressure bleeder style. I think they just do a better job. And what you're really doing when you pressure bleed like that is you're really pushing all the old fluid and dirt and stuff out, which I think is good. And on an older master cylinder, sometimes what it does is the brake fluid sort of rejuvenates the seals a little bit. Like I said, the other thing is worn brake hardware, stuff that's really loose. Until it gets settled into position, it can, have a low pedal. But still, if the idea that he gets in it in the morning, it's got a low pedal when he first starts it up, and then he drives it for the rest of the day, and it's relatively normal. Don't know. This is puzzling me. I don't know. I'll have to ask Chat GBT or CarMD. See what it has to say. Well, that's an idea. Why don't I do that? Let's see if CarMD knows. That'd be fun. I don't know. Might take too long to do this. So, but we'll try it. We'll see. We'll see if it knows. Low brake pedal. First thing in the morning. First thing in the morning. This is exciting radio. It's thinking. It's thinking. It's thinking.
If the brakes feel low or unresponsive first thing in the morning, it could be due to moisture causing slight surface rust on the brake rotors,
I don't think
which is normal and should clear up after a few brake applications. However, if the issue persists, it could be indicative of air in the brake lines or a failing brake master cylinder.
Oh, there we go. Did you hear that, Jesse?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I just held the phone up to my microphone. So again, the same answers I have. Air in the system, maybe that air is settling out overnight. And when you pump the brake in the morning, it sort of pushes it into a corner somewhere where it's not as much of a problem. That's all I can think of. I'm puzzled. Somebody wrote to me the other day. They have a Kia Stinger, which is a really nice car. All-wheel drive, probably V6 turbocharged engine, probably 2 different size tires on it. Tires in the back are bigger than the tires in the front. It's primarily rear-wheel drive, even though it's all-wheel drive. They went to a tire store. They were looking for specifically all-season performance tires. And they got 4 tires. The ones in the front are summer tires. The ones in the back are all-season performance tires. And they wanted to know if that was a problem. They said the car seems to handle just fine. Well, when we were talking to Wes Boland from Nokian, they make an all-season performance tire. But the idea of mixing a summer tire with a winter tire or an all-season tire, never a good idea, because that summer tire is going to turn into a hockey puck once the temperatures get cold. And the traction's going to, all-wheel drive traction is going to be bad. And more importantly, braking's going to be bad. So not a good idea. So my recommendation was go back to the tire store and get 4 tires that match. It's important to get that. So you want to get 4 tires, especially that's a performance sedan. That is, think like Audi S-Class kind of, or S-Trim or whatever they call their performance cars. And the Stinger was actually built by a combination of Audi engineers and Porsche engineers. So there you go. Well, that music means we need to step aside. We have, programs coming up right after this. But until next week, make sure you wear your seatbelt, drive safe.